Hey, where are you guys? Check this out. I'm in a top secret studio in the really old part of Honolulu, in the hills in Honolulu. I have a special guest today, and I've told you about it a couple of times. First of all, here it is. Facebook's still being a butt, so I'll fix it in post, okay? So in a couple of seconds, I'll be accompanied by the legendary Zap Nasty, aka Damon. And so we're talking. His new album dropped 2 days ago. You can find it on Reverb Nation, and just give it a listen. It's kind of cool, and we'll talk about more things about that in a minute or two. Like I said, Facebook's a butt. I'm getting new thing. I'll fix it in post. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to bring on today's special guest, Zap Nasty. Yay! Zap Nasty. Yay! You know rock stars, they're always fucking late. Anyway, so, look who showed up.
What? That's the greatest trick ever, by the way. Band's waiting to play, lead singer shows up last minute, and the crowd goes wild because they've been waiting. They're thirsty, they're hungry, they're waiting for it. Yeah. Your band is pissed. They hate you.
Yeah. But you're supposed to. Everybody, the band starts playing, and the singer goes, "Hi, I'm here now." And what singers only have, like, the microphone.
Yeah.
And they never carry it anyway.
Yeah.
Or the stand. Unless you're a guitar player, singer, songwriter kind of thing.
You need a table.
Well, there's a table over there.
Probably.
Yeah.
Welcome to my studio.
Oh, yeah. Wait. First of all, hi.
Hi, I'm Zap Nasty, a.k.a. Damon Ramsey. Actually, I'm Damon Ramsey. My alter ego is
Zap Nasty.
You know, I used to be the stoned astronaut, but, you know, shit happens.
Well, it's cool because, I have fans all the time that zone it. Anyway, what's really cool is Damon pointed out this is his third time on the program, so it's kind of cool. Yay.
Do you have, like, on Saturday Night Live where you got the robe that goes with?
No, but I will have T-shirts soon.
T-shirts, three-timer.
I'm trying to figure out a design. Raw like sushi, chat with Bill Hale or something like that. And as long as
excuse me, while I smoke.
And so far it's raw like sushi's kind of thing. So we have a new album.
Yes, you do.
My Ego the King.
My Ego the King. It was funny because my buddy says to me, he goes, my liver the rock star, because he's got a failing liver and he's been drinking since he was 2. And he was like, my liver the rock star. And I was like, you know what? I feel that way about my ego sometimes, because Zap Nasty is kind of my ego personality.
Yeah.
And so my ego the king is like, sometimes I have control over that ego, and that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, because you technically everybody has a bunch of personalities, not to be a disorder or whatever. I mean, like, I can't be Bill Hale 24/7 because everybody just goes crazy. Because Bill is like he's the egomaniac. He's the guy that this, that, that. And I'm super humble.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what, I fucking did this and I went over here and did that.
My wife doesn't necessarily like Zap Nasty. She married him, but she's like, she understands him and she lets me put on the Zap and go out, but she's like, he's not a huge fan.
Yeah, when you come home, it's the fuzzy bunny slippers and like, yes, dear.
Yeah, well, no, it's not
yes,
fuzzy
dear.
bunny slippers. It's Crocs. So
it's the same thing. So yeah, it's kind of cool. He's been working at a studio.
I got my new studio all set up.
Yeah, it's
painting
cool.
on one side, music on the other. So
how did this? Because you last year, right? You did the first Zap Nasty solo album.
Was it a year ago?
Was it a year ago?
I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is that the last time we did it was when I released it.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Because I wanted to.
I like that part that people come in when I'm like the beacon of community in Honolulu. You got a new album, we'll push it here. Even though there's only like 500 people. Sooner or later.
He's hounding me to come on his show, right? And I'm like, I'm not going on your show unless I got something to
push.
Swag. You know, it's like when you go on the Tonight Show, you have a new book or a movie that,
Exactly. No, it's fine. And then I do got a couple of new people on the scene, and they're going to come on when their albums drop and shit.
That's awesome. There's more albums coming out?
Everybody has stuff coming out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy because it's the original music is, for me, just it's so near and dear to my heart. Everybody in Seattle wrote and was in a band, an original band. And it just, when I got here, I was like, everybody's playing covers. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But
there was a time period before that it was good mix, and before that it was originals. It just goes in waves.
Yeah, maybe.
It depending what the club owners do.
The club owners.
Because you're supposed to put things in people in the seats.
Did you see the thing on the Facebook? And it's got the Heisenberg with his wife, and they're standing over a big pile of cash. And they said they go, they're the club owners, and they go, "Wow, we had a pretty good night. Ah, damn, we still got to pay the band $50." I mean, it's like, yeah, that's it, man. They make so much money off bands.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
But tribute bands and cover tune bands, that's what's going on now. So
Yeah, it is a good mix because like Hawaiian Grinds has a lot of
they got some more original stuff.
yeah. Tavana does his thing.
Tavana is Tavana, man. He's
Yeah.
always going to use.
Yeah. But he always gives a good mix of covers. Hi, Tavana, you're
Yeah,
next.
Tavana.
He's always a good mix of covers and originals kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
most
I
people
love
do.
Tavana. First time I heard Tavana, I was selling art at the Hollywood Art Festival, and I hear this music, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And I followed it. I mean, I was like the Woody Woodpecker going towards the pie that's sitting on the windowsill.
Yeah, yeah.
And I walked in, and it was Savannah. I was like, that's coming out of one guy. I was blown away. I sat there and just watched him for.
It's a good mix
It was
of what he does, and his vocal range fills up the mid-tone that would be a bass part,
Nice.
and his guitar playing does this, and the whole...
He's 10 levels above all the guys that are looping,
Yeah, yeah.
for sure.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Let's get into the album.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Dan's.
Oh,
I got a Dan's guitar koozie, man. I'm so happy. Thanks, Dan. That's my shout out for Dan.
no, that's fine. That's good. Okay, track number 1. We're going to go track by track.
We're going to do the whole tracks, all the tracks.
Well, kind of. That'd be fine. So I'm kind of... Anyways, man, do you like the lighting? You want to move that a little bit?
Oh, you can.
Just so you're a little more... Because I'm kind of like... Oh, there you are.
Is that better?
Yeah, okay. Fine.
Track by track, let's start with the Starlight Lounge.
Yes.
That was a song I wrote a while back, and I was going through, as I always do, I listen to my own stuff mostly, and I heard this song, and it was just the guitar part.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's cool. That should be the first song on an album somewhere. And then I just put it on, and I heard it, and I was like, it's the Starlight Lounge. That's what the title was, and the words just came to me, like years later.
Yeah.
After I wrote it.
Now, before that, how influenced are you in that whole iconic late 50s, early 60s American Dream kind of thing with the avocado green kitchen and people?
Oh man, I love that shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a boomer. I'm on the very end of the boomers, but
Yeah.
I'm a boomer. Avocado kitchen is that's fantastic.
Yeah, and the
shag carpet,
Yeah,
wood panel walls.
yeah. Because some of that stuff really brings that mindset in.
It's got the Starlight Lounge was kind of like I imagine one of those old timey, like mid-century bars, where you walked in and it was like your Cheers. Everybody knew your name. We'll have beers together. It'll be great. And on this album, I wanted to sing.
Yeah.
The album I did before and the superhero rockstar stuff. I mean, I'm screaming.
Yeah.
And it's gravel, a lot of gravel, and all that. And I kind of wanted to just sing.
And it feels that way because I know you're really trying hard to have that vocal line extended some places.
Yeah.
Have that harmony, have that little thing go out at the end of the notes. There it is. Still, you're crooning.
I'm crooning. I'm a crooner. The superheroes did not like the crooner in me. And I mixed the album that way too. If you listen, the vocals are like super on top.
Yeah.
It's not like you can tell it was mixed by a singer because albums that are mixed by guitar players are like the vocals are buried.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we were talking before the show. It's one of those things where back in the 70s, all of a sudden the bands had their own solo albums, and like the singers would be totally different. Like Roger Daltrey's album wasn't like the Who.
No.
Like Dan McCaffrey's album that wasn't like that. It was something they got. Let me do this my way now.
Well, it's interesting because I'm listening to it and I'm like, wow, how does it compare to the last album? Because the last album was a bunch of songs that was left over from the superhero rockstar stuff.
Yes.
And it was heavy. you know. And I kind of wanted to do something different. I was on the fence whether I should release it as a Damon Ramsey album or a Zap album, but it was kind of dirty enough. It was Bukowski enough.
Yeah.
To
I'm like your number one fan too. I've always been a Zap Nasty fan. I like, you know, I think it's cool.
Thank you.
People need to have something like that.
Yeah.
Know? When a bunch of years ago, when he was talking about getting superhero rock stars, he's like, "Man, we got to do this. I got to do a big show, big production show.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's superhero kind of thing."
Well, we were influenced by Kiss.
Yeah.
I mean, we wanted to put on a Kiss show. We would have had flame bombs and if we could have, but you can't.
But you had balloons and glitter.
We always had to have some
Japanese robots.
Fogs. Yeah, the second show we had a balloon. Well, the first show, what did we have? A 7-piece choir.
Yes.
10-piece choir that came out, and I mean, where do you go from there?
And you had a cape.
And I had a cape and a mask because, you know, well, the band was like, it's superhero rock star. One of us has to be the superhero, and I was like, that's me. I'm in. That's you know. So I had the cape and the mask. Yeah. What are you gonna do, man?
Yeah.
It's you know, I had everybody else in the band was rock stars. Right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, we wanted to do something big like Kiss, you know. We
Yeah.
wanted to put on a show. We wanted to show people, hey, the bar's way the hell up here, and check it out, you know.
Because no one came close to that.
And now it's great because you got like Dangerous Pistols of Meow Meow, for example. They suit up. They get out there and they're putting on a show. They're all dressed up. Everybody got all dressed up. It's just, man, it makes me feel so good, you know, to have some minor influence on that. But yeah. We wanted to put on a show. Our second show, we have a cross-dressing MC, Kikaida, 2 different Kikaidas, because we were going to have each show is going to have a superhero theme song as the intro before we came on. And the first one was the Green Hornet, and the second one was we had to be Kikaida, and then we had 2 Kikaidas, balloon drop. I mean, where do you go from there? You paint yourself into a corner, kind of. Where do you go from there? But
one spotlight at a time.
So yeah, my new album's kind of different. It's kind of a weird little album, I think, but it's heavy enough.
Well, it's a good collection of songs, and on top of that, it's not just a collection of songs, but it kind of what you have, and it's good that you do this stuff because we need more original music out there. I don't care, you know, it's one of those things. Yeah, you spend your time, you do your art, and then all of a sudden, like, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do an album.
Let's finish all our little projects now.
I kind of went Beatles. I mean, I went to the studio, and I'm interested in playing live again. The scene's coming back a little bit. You might be thirsty for that.
Yeah.
I'd like to do a Zap Nasty project.
Yeah.
You know, find the right guys. I mean, I got a couple guys in mind.
I'll call Keith Richards.
Keith Richards would be great. Okay, yeah, it'd be great. I love that.
Okay, track number 2.
So, what I wanted to say before we go to track 2 is like it's a weird little album, and it's to me it's kind of like my Crazy from the Heat, or you know, like you were saying, soul albums were different. You know,
yes,
like the Kiss soul albums were terrible, except for Ace Frehley's album, which kicked ass.
Yes.
So, but yeah, it's definitely it's me. It's me. It's got some. I have a tango song on there. What's the second song on that? Crystal Raven.
Yes. The tango song is the third song.
That's coming up.
Yes.
We'll talk about that. The Crystal Raven song. I just was playing guitar, man, and I just wanted to have flanger in the beginning. You know, just you know, and it just came out. Crystal Raven. I don't even know what it's about. It's drugs. It's about sex. I don't know what it's about. It's about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
The lyrics were I kind of didn't really want to tell too many stories, but I did tell stories.
Every song had a story to it, as a little vignette of your
stuff in there.
Zach Nasty's personality.
The Crystal Raven was. I mean, for me, the visual that I had in my head was kind of like going to a rave party or some kind of like a crazy, you know, worship the Crystal Raven. I don't know. Maybe it's drugs. It's definitely drugs. What kind? You figure it out. But yeah, Crystal Raven was a cool song. I liked it. I liked the way it sounded. I'm going to have another beer. Would you like one?
You never did. I'll take it.
I'll take it now.
No, we're not sponsored by PBR yet, but if you are a distributor in town, we will take sponsorships gladly.
And actually, we determined this is not beer. It's unicorn beer because the band always had a joke that it wasn't really beer. And one day we were at a bar, and I was like, "Look, the little tap thing had a unicorn on it." He goes, "Yeah, if you believe in unicorn, you believe that's beer." So it's unicorn beer.
It's kind of like the Rockstar beer.
The best, cheapest shit, man.
Yeah.
I was a starving artist. I learned how to make do. I'm still starving. I'm married now, though.
Yeah, congratulations.
Married a nurse. It's great.
And, of course, if you didn't know, he was married on Halloween.
Yeah.
And he asked me, and I wore
Yeah,
a tie.
I had the world famous Bill Hale do my wedding pictures, and thank you so much for that. They turned out great. And it was awesome to have me. I had it. Not only did I have him there, he never does weddings, and he never wears a tie, and he wore a tie. It was a very ramshackle tie, dude. It was awesome.
It was a brand new,
awesome.
whatever you call it, with that foo-foo designer. It was like.
Was it a foo-foo designer?
Yeah.
Because for me, it was like it was a little disheveled, but in a perfect way.
Yeah.
Touch my eyes. Sorry about that.
Yeah. It was like Calvin Klein or something weird like that, or whatever the sign is. I walked into Ross.
You look great.
The only tie after I liked is at $25. So I got it. Let's go.
Yeah, you look great. It was a little disheveled. You can tell you don't wear ties very often.
Yeah. I learned how to tie it.
But he wore a tie and did a wedding.
And it was Halloween, and it was so humid, I sweated my butt off.
Yeah,
but it was fine. The bride wore black. What more do you want?
I was wearing a top hat.
Yes, you were.
The bride wore black. Oh my god. She's so beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, he cried when she bent the corner.
You know that moment, when you say your wife walked down the aisle, and your heart went pitter patter, and I could see her dad, and I could see her. Not really. She was behind the bush, but I could see her dad, and so I was trying to look, and then she came around the corner. As soon as she stood the corner, man, I lost my shit. Yeah, I did well. It was very good.
How cool is this studio? Look at this.
Yeah, my studio's pretty cool. It's got stuff. I got guitars, and I have everything I need.
Yeah.
I live in this old termite mansion.
But it's a mansion in Makiki, way up there someplace.
Well, it's
not way up.
It's not even way up there. It's a bottom of town.
But still, that's cool. Bottom of town's better than next
I guess
town
the guy that built this house was a senator or something, and he developed the whole area, and he had all the way from from Wilder all the way up to like halfway up town. It was all of his property, and then he built all the homes around it. So pretty cool. It's historic. Yeah. They're going to tear it down. Don't tell the Hawaiian Housing Authority or whatever. Heritage.
Unless they make it a hysterical monument.
Well, they won't. He doesn't want to do that because he wants to tear it down.
I thought he was.
And they should tear it down. It's completely termites.
Yeah.
I had termites ate one of my guitars, man.
Well, that's a great song.
Heartbreaker. It's a heartbreaker. I had this Gretsch Jim Dandy little cheapo parlor guitar.
Yeah.
And the termites gone in, and I was like, I opened the case, and there's like sawdust. If you live in Hawaii, you know what it is. And I was like, no. And I did everything. I fumigated it, and I put lemon oil or whatever, lavender or whatever the hell you're supposed to do. And they ate it right under the bridge. Like anywhere else would have been cool. I would have played it. If it was in the neck, I'd have been like, fuck it. There's termites in there. I don't care. But in the bridge, it started sinking. You can't fix it. No, it's not. I have to get it. Luckily, it's the cheapest of all the guitars I have.
Track number 3.
Oh, track number 3.
Which actually, when I was playing it, I like 4 or 5 times over, kind of striking. I like the tango. It's tango, right?
It's a tango song.
Yeah.
Well, it's called Drunken Tango.
Yeah, but I don't listen to the song titles. I mean, I go through and listen to it and all.
I bought an orchestra. So I have software. I have a whole I bought orchestra software, and I have all these full sets of violins and all this stuff. And I had this bass line that I was doing that I could barely play, and then put the violins in there, and it's a Bukowski song. It's the guy sitting in a bar.
Yeah,
he sees the girl. She's dancing the tango. He's trying to play it cool. Apparently he got drunk.
Yeah, came
to in the back of the bus. She was smart enough to put pinned a note on his coat because he was such a drunk. And then he contemplated that, and they got together. I like the chorus. They got drunk and fell in love and fought like cats and dogs.
I know, that was really cool. Like that. And it's funny because I'm on this kick lately where I'll have a free hour or two and I'll cruise YouTube videos for really weird shit. And he came up and actually watched some interviews of them.
Oh, Bukowski?
Yeah.
Oh, Bukowski's.
I hate people. Leave me alone. I like being by myself. Smoke.
He smokes. You know, he loved going to sitting in the back of. He's sitting at a bar and watching, getting in a fight, and you know, and picking up the bar hag at the end of the bar. You know, because he could. He hated his day job. He worked for the post office. Hated it. Yeah. And was like, no, I'm a writer. I'm going to do this, and you know, and that's what you need to do to get to the good stuff.
Yeah. To pay.
Bukowski's a major influence.
Yeah, it was really funny because somehow the album, I listened to it, I took a break, and then that's the first video that, you know.
It was a Bukowski.
Yeah, it was
talking about.
Yeah, so like, how about that? Sure.
My favorite, one of my favorite lines from him is he goes, if you see everybody running in a certain direction, go the other way because they're wrong. You know, if something's popular and everybody's going at it, they're wrong. They're always wrong.
That's what we are, though. We go the other way. The biggest thing for photographers, same thing like that. You see everybody.
The creatives go the other way.
Yeah, you always
we're like, no, we're not buying it.
Yeah. I got so much shit for that. Like, well, you got this shot, everybody got the shot, but I got this shot from behind you, and no one has this shot. So, anyway, I'll be nice. I like that song, though. It kind of struck with me a couple times. I like the story, the narrative.
It's very different. It's not a rock song, really, but it kind of found its way in a rock album, and
it's good.
It works.
You're right. They fought like cat and dogs.
They got drunk and fell in love, and fought like cats and dogs. Yeah, and the song played on.
Yeah, no, that was cool because you borrowed so many things and you smushed together. Yeah. It works.
Well, hopefully, it paints a visual of what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can kind of see what's going on.
Because that's what's good about a song. The music does this, and the words
take you someplace else. Yeah.
And the soundtrack of that is like gets together.
It is,
and you accomplished on that song.
Yeah. Thank you. That's really awesome. I was really stoked the way it came out. I have so much music that I can't put on albums because it's just too weird.
It doesn't matter.
You know?
Have you heard Spangle?
I have not heard Spangle.
There you go. Sorry for my Spangle family out there. But,
sounds good.
Quick tangent. So, in this place, Kagaya, these two guys made up. One is a flautist who's from the old 60s scene, and some young raver guy.
So a Jethro Tull meets EDM.
Kind of. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's all DMT based.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And it's no sense of this little. It's great.
I bought a
Spangle, my brains and a fish tank.
That's cool, man.
Right.
I bought an MPK Mini. It's a MIDI controller, right? So I could make my orchestra work, right? I mean, I can do it to my piano too, but it came with a software that's like it's MPC Beats, and you dive into it, and it's all that music that I hate. It's all the house, rave, hip hop, and yet I was intrigued by it. Look what I can do with these bass lines and drums beats, and how am I gonna? How it's like finding nuclear waste and figuring out that this is powerful, but I don't know what to do with it yet. And I have a whole album worth of stuff that's EDM, like I don't even know what to do with it.
You're gonna have to get a new alter ego.
I might have to. It's just, but it's too. It's too far out there, man. Nice. But some of it's kind of cool. And some of it's. I wrote this one song, and it's like it reminds me of those 80s synth pop.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, singing it through my telephone microphone, and so it's got that sound to it, man. Yeah, and it works. It's cool. Yeah.
I can say it now because it's 40 years ago or something, the 80s. I listened to more of that shit than I did metal, except for Armored Saint and some of the good bands. But some of that shit I couldn't say. I'm like on a plane flying around the world listening to Bob Marley and shit before all that crap.
I'm coming right out. I'm going to say it. Devo fucking rocks.
And period. Thank you, Brian Eno, for the first album.
Oh, Brian Eno was awesome.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite U2 albums is the one that Brian Eno did.
Yeah. Well,
Unforgettable Fire.
That's right. Yeah,
Brian Eno,
yeah, I did that.
So that was great.
My first, it was like
It was
Roxy
moody as
Music.
shit.
But it was Roxy Music with Eno. He did
Yeah.
the first 2 albums, and then that was like, okay, then he like branched out, and then his first solo album, Here Comes the Warm Jets by Brian Eno. It's amazing. Baby's on Fire on there. He has all these great people.
I went down to Brian Eno rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And found just like all kinds of music.
Yes.
That it was just like
Yes.
he called it music that was furniture.
Yes.
Because it was kind of like it was in the room, sitting over there, and you didn't really pay attention to it, like you wouldn't pay attention to a chair that was sitting in a room, but it was there.
Mm-hmm.
And he also came up with these cards. He was like in the studio trying to come up with stuff. Some of them were like way over the top, but he had this method of like when you're stuck, what do you do in the studio? And it was like use alternative instruments for this, and he has a whole set of cards. You can download the app.
And then on top of that, he's the first one to actually do tape loops.
Oh yeah,
him and Robert Fripp. Robert Fripp would like do this guitar, and he would have the tape loop, and it's called Wind on Water. And I didn't do
what
drugs.
album is that?
It's called Wind on Water.
Oh, that's that album.
Yeah. And it's the side 1. It's all this whole thing. And I did drugs in the 80s, but I saw God during that.
Wow.
I'm in the photo class. My photo class, and this guy comes in. I forgot the name. He's at Aloha something. He's a photographer, and he had a whole dissolve unit, two projectors, and this really weird watercolor whitewash. And this is the soundtrack. And it was like Robert Fripp going, and it's like, holy shit. And I saw God in these images, like, who needs drugs when you got Brian Eno?
Yeah, right. Forgive my smoking. Yeah, no, I went down a Brian Eno rabbit hole. It was cool, man. There was like so much stuff.
We did so much stuff.
Yeah.
And then this the shit we did with you too was amazing.
Oh, that Unforgettable Fire is one of my
Yeah.
favorite albums.
Yeah.
And that's an obscure one, man.
Yeah. Well, that was a breakthrough album, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, because it was like the first 3 albums, War and all
Because
that
Joshua
shit.
Tree, man.
But that was they needed
monster.
They needed the direction that led up to Joshua Tree. That was
Was that before? I think
Yeah,
it was
it was
before. It was before.
that was their first like headlining major theaters tours. I couldn't see. We had to photograph Metallica. Lars, I hate you. No,
Bummer.
sorry about my hair. I'm gonna
okay, Lars.
probably go back to the glam phase pretty soon. Yeah, so I couldn't see a lot of bands.
At least you can still grow hair, man. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
well, it's the jeans.
I mean, I'm wearing jeans. My hair's
But see, you're an Aquarius,
I am an Aquarius.
and then you describe Aquarius to a T. So that's amazing.
Oh no, I am the
We are
like
the
if you
Aquarius.
read what an Aquarius
Exactly.
is, we are both.
Yes, exactly.
Me more so. I make my wife crazy because I have ADHD, and ADHD.
I control that stuff. I have
Yeah.
4 kids. I have 4 kids.
It's a superpower.
Yeah.
If
But
you can channel it, it's great.
Yeah.
You can find that hyper focus. It's great. I can sit and paint for hours, just like so focused. But man, getting to that point is it's murder.
I had 4
You have to trick
kids.
yourself.
It's different.
You have 4 kids.
I had 4 kids. 2 step kids and 2 real kids. And
Oh,
so,
step
yeah.
kids count.
Yeah, no, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They count a lot. So, now, here's the classic album tracking. You have a rocker, you have 2 rockers, you have a slow mid-tempo song, then you have number 4.
Actually, we skipped one. We went over and I'm looking at the list now.
No,
we missed Cuts Like a Knife.
I thought the
That's
tango,
the third song.
I thought Tango was a good
Tango's the
song.
4th song.
Oh, wow, I blew it.
Third song is
Cuts
Cuts Like a Knife. which
Not
is-
to be confused with Bryan Adams, so.
Is there a song? Is there? I do that all the time.
Cuts like a knife.
Yeah,
I hate Bryan Adams.
It's a-
sorry.
It's a song about a serial killer.
Yes.
really. I mean,
Yeah.
it's from the point of view of the serial killer. You watch all the stuff on TV, right? I love these. I love serial killers and the TV shows and all the there's all this genre out there and I just was trying to imagine it's a terrible place, but I tried to put my head in that space, and that's what Cuts Like a Knife came to. It was like I ravage with the light. It cuts like a knife.
Yes.
I want to stab you several times. and tie you up to a beam in the basement.
Okay, kids, this is just a song. Okay, it's not
just a song,
not to be
not to be taken literal. But I mean, it was ugly enough to put on a Zap Nasty album.
Yes.
Because I mean,
Zap has no boundaries.
You know, and you know,
He's our my alter ego is a guy named Scruffy McGraw. He plays drums in a band called Graveyard Angels. I just told you. Yeah. When I was a kid, I was going, oh, I have a band.
Graveyard Angels.
Yes.
That's a great name.
Yes, and then I would be drummer. I'd be Scruffy McGraw.
I would be Scruffy McGraw.
Yeah, and playing drums.
Right.
Like making sure my drumsticks slip and hit the singer's hand every time he's done something stupid. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Drummers can be brutal, though, man. Like, if they don't like you as a singer, they will throw shit at your head.
Yeah.
They will, you know, I mean, it's one thing to be dodging shit that's coming at you, but when it's coming from behind, you can't really see that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily I had a good relationship with Brian. Thanks, Brian. Love you.
Hi, Brian. Wherever you are, hunting pig someplace.
Yeah, hunting pig or in the Philippines.
Well, that's what that.
You know.
So what's track number 5 then?
Track number 5 would be the In and Out of Love.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
That's kind of the hit on the album, the one you would release first.
Jamie Madoff, gotta play the song.
Yeah, play some Zap Nasty, man. What are you afraid of?
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I don't talk to him anymore, but yeah, he should have you on.
I miss Jamie. I miss you, Jamie. And I'm sorry I haven't been out in the scene much, but I haven't really. It's just not calling me yet, you know.
Yeah, you can only do. Yeah,
I know I will when it calls me. When I first got here and got in the scene, it was so amazing. It was like everybody was doing their own thing. There was shows every night. You know, it was more clubs.
Were you here when Gussie was here?
Who?
Gussie Lamore's?
No, I missed the Gussie Lamore.
But you were Pipeline, right? Pipeline Cafe.
I got into the scene right after Pipeline closed. So it was Hawaiian Brian's and Anna's
the station.
And the station. Oh, I miss the station.
The station's about as big as this room here.
I love this. I love the station because you could go to a show at Hawaiian Brian's, and if you didn't like the band, you could go down to the station and see a band and have a beer down there, and there were just like this steady stream of people hanging out in the parking lot of Hawaiian Brian's, smoking all kinds of weed. Like you could see, you know, and then just down to the, the station. Man, I miss that. I love you, Blaine. Man, we need a new station. We need a new station. That'd be great.
Yeah, and then did we hear that when Moose's was still here?
McGillicuddy's?
Yeah, upstairs, downstairs.
Yeah, they weren't really doing original music.
I'm 20-something, 24 years ago. Shit.
Because you know, if you wanted to go to like, well, Anna's had original music, but if you went to Irish Rose, it was always just Elephant, and what was the other one in town on Lures? Kelly's. Yeah. Kelly's was always, I mean, it was Masters of Oz. That was it. Which is great. I love that. And every once in a while they'd have another band in it, but it was always just like the cover tunes all night. We're just going to sell a fucking shitload of beer.
Yeah. Well, Tavana played Friday night late, and then they were off on Saturday, Sunday. No, Friday, Saturday, Oz didn't play. So it was Tavana, it was...
Elena played there.
Elena, it was one of the Monk brothers had a band that played there and shit like that. And so.
Well, all that filled the void that the Piranha Brothers left.
Yeah. Hi, Mike. We're still thinking about doing your gig, so I'll contact you sooner or later.
There's a gig?
No, he wants to do his interview on a bus.
Oh, that'd be cool. Like on a bus?
A Sunday, the bus. But how are you going to keep a camera steady? He will be like...
You know what? It's, at that point... it is what it is.
Yeah, but it's
raw.
It's a serious conversation. You have a lot to say.
Wait, it's raw, like sushi.
It's
raw. It's pumpy. We don't know.
It's like Fred Flintstone driving home.
Well, and they like that. That's part of the new TV where it's kind of shaky.
But look at this video. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's all right.
Again, don't forget the Facebook's butt, so we'll fix it later. And then I like it live better than like a studio.
Oh wait, we can do this for Facebook, right? Hey, what's going on? Every time you post it, it's always like sideways.
And then
it's like catch it the next day.
Yeah, and then you put it up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but so I got a blue check mark.
What does that mean?
It means you're verified.
Wow.
That's horrible.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I verify. It's Bill, and he's right here.
And the only thing is left to do is get a new phone. So
Oh yeah, I got a new phone. I hate it.
Yeah.
It's too big. The colors suck ass. It doesn't have a plug, and it does not take an SD card. You know what this means? I'm old.
I won't get an iPhone because they don't contain this one. Any
I do
Android,
iPhones, man. It's just
any Android, I can like Bluetooth. I'm photoshopping Bluetooth here. Put to you guys. Hi, I don't have social media on my iMac. I have Twitter. That's about it. But I don't want any of that stuff.
I believe that Apple product. This is just my own personal opinion.
Yes.
Okay. I believe that Apple products don't play nice with themselves. Don't play well. Don't play nice with others.
Yes.
And don't even play nice with themselves.
No. The latest ones, they got rid of all the USB
buggy
ports.
as shit.
Now it's like Thunderbolt or whatever.
Oh no, they did that, and now oh really? The new ones?
Yeah. All the new. They don't have like.
I work at the convention center, and I do conventions and stuff, and always somebody's got a Mac, and it doesn't have the right. We have dongles, 10 million dongles. I hate that word, dongle.
Dongles. What does dongle mean?
It's the little thing that you plug in that adapts shit. Nobody has HDMI. They don't put HDMI cables.
No, they don't.
I'm gonna talk tech for a second. But
they don't, and you'd have to. They want you to buy the whole tower again. Well, if you're on your laptop, you're gonna have to do something.
The phone's messed up, man. The reason, you know why they don't put SD cards on there?
What?
Because they want to sell you cloud space.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Why did they not have RCA jacks anymore? Because they wanted you to buy Bluetooth headphones.
Look, I like my Bluetooth.
Bluetooth's great.
Yeah.
But I do like my new phone. It does a lot of stuff. My wife was like, "That thing's got to go," and I was so sad when it went. It's too big too.
It's gonna be too big.
It's too big.
Imagine.
I mean, well, I don't know. I'm old. Okay, so cell phones started to be this huge brick, and then they went down and they got smaller, and then it was and then it was a flip phone. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the flip phones got smaller and smaller and smaller, and then until you could not push the buttons with your thumb. It was so small, and then they went back up. Yeah. They hit,
and then they realized, this is a meme. They realized that they can see porn on your phone. All of a sudden, woof.
Well, I had to get a smartphone so I could take credit cards selling art.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Because that was the reason for that. But and then because I didn't want that, and then I don't want technology, but I long live technology.
And it goes a mile a minute. God. Oh, there's another tangent.
It's always changing.
There's a thing where
I got to relearn everything, man. If I haven't touched it like 2 months, I got to.
Humans haven't evolved certain point, but technology gets like because we haven't. We still have until like they do Neuralink and they like unless it's we won't talk about that.
Okay.
Yet.
That said, my studio. Okay, my old setup. I ran it analog to digital. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was good. I didn't have latency, I didn't have problems. But I spent a lot of time trying to make stuff sound good. Now, with my new digital, I got the focus right and the whole. It's just, it already sounds good. So anything you add to it makes it just sound amazing. It's like, so yeah, I was mad because I had to relearn the whole software, and all of my go-to plugins weren't there anymore. I had to get new ones, but the new ones, they ultimately just kicked ass. So yeah, that's what it is. And actually, I was listening to the first Zap Nasty album, and then the new one, back to back. I could tell the production value. I'm getting better at spinning the knobs. All right, so what was the next song on that thing? Fortune Teller.
Fortune Teller. Yeah, when I read the track, listen, like, he's not doing that old.
It's a funky song.
Yeah, that is funky.
It's funk. It's got some funk in there.
Yeah.
It was again, I like to listen to songs that I've written on my thing, and sometimes something will spark. And I heard this song that I had written, and I was like, why is that not a song? And so I was trying to take the original track and tweak it so that I could redo it. And instead, I was like, at some point, I was like, screw this. I can play it faster than it's taking me to retweak all this old shit. So I just re-recorded it and put some lyrics on it. And fortune teller.
Yeah.
Is there love on the horizon? Look in your crystal ball. I don't know.
No, that was cool. Yeah.
It has, but it's funky as shit, man. It's got that, it's got a lot of funk. It's got that wah pedal. It's got some wah pedal funk in it.
And, I gotta say hi to Jared in Tascadero. Hey, Jared, how you doing? Thanks for always hanging out. He runs my fan club.
Oh, right on.
I have a fan club, people.
Yes, I'm a fan. Why am I not on your fan club, though? Is it because we're peers?
I don't know. It's a Bill Hale fan club. It's on Facebook.
I need to be. I don't have a fan club.
You need a fan club. Zap is a fan club.
Zap Nasty fan club.
Yeah, we need to get t-shirts.
If you sign up, you can get a little button and like a certificate of authenticity saying that you are a member of.
Yes.
You get that with the Bill Hale fan?
No, not yet.
How many box tops do you got to save to become a
great.
member of?
Don't you? I'm
did digging that. Deep now.
Did you did that? I did it once. You save all the box tops.
Oh yeah.
You put it in the envelope. Say 6 weeks later or whatever.
I hated the 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You always put it in the mail and just forget about it.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, there'd be a car, a little Hot Wheel that showed up.
I don't know what I did. Yeah, it was really weird. Yeah. And then my sister did it a lot.
The box tops.
Yeah, the box tops. Yeah. Because you did that, and then you had to clip it and save it, and then
I feel so damn old.
Good. There's nothing wrong being old. We lived through everything.
Oh, it's funny because like I'm around other people and I start telling stories and I start thinking, oh my God, I sound like some drunken old grandpa. My grandpa used to sit around and tell stories about the way it was. And now I'm doing this.
It's important though. You pass on the lineage. You pass on the isms. How many things are gone when we were kids?
Most of it.
Yeah.
Most of it.
The main thing is like would you? Hi Jared, I say hi. I want to make sure I say, hey Jared.
He's the president of the fan club.
And he's cool. He does a lot of stuff.
Is that a paying gig or
no?
no,
it's he did it out of respect and stuff like that. So
thanks, man. Yeah. If you need to pick up any new people, I'm available.
And charges.
I don't pay either. I'm
That's fine. That's good.
So,
what's the next one?
oh, the next song. Let's see here. Cheating Death.
Oh yeah, it's a very Zap Nasty title.
It just came out. Like sometimes if I get stuck, I just put it on and sing. Spaghetti mashed potatoes. I think that's what Freddie Mercury used to call it.
McCartney did scrambled eggs.
It's just blah, 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 it's whatever comes out. It's blah 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 comes out. Whatever comes out of your mouth, you're looking for a melody, and every once in a while there'd be like a couple of words stick against the wall, and you'd be like, and then your lyrics end up following that. It's interesting because I've seen a lot of interviews with famous musicians and how their process is for writing songs, and it's a pretty common one. Let's see, Cheating Death was again another older song that I just happened to be listening to and was like, this is cool. And then I'm always gonna make it all mellow and not add too much. I'm gonna leave it bare as possible and not add a bunch of shit to it, and then inevitably you gotta do a guitar solo, and you have to do a harmony on that guitar solo, and then you have to have the breakdown. And my grunge was showing on that one for sure. That was a little bit of, a little nod to Andrew Wood.
Yeah, we talked about before. It was some of your vocalizations were like that. It was because you hung out with the guy. You were there in the scene with
that was shit. I mean, I was influenced by that shit because I was there when that shit was going on. It just comes out of me. The wah pedal is a very Seattle grunge thing. And I don't acknowledge that part of my music too much. For a while, all I did was write. I mean, they were basically country songs. I mean, they were rock songs, but they were like, My Rooster, Kill That Rooster. My dad was like, those are country songs. You should listen to country music. I'm like, that's never gonna happen, Dad. Thanks, but no. But yeah, so your songwriting evolves, and that's where I'm at.
You're good, yeah.
Trying to do something different, but yeah, I'm acknowledging my '90s grunge. I mean, I was there. So
Yeah, you were there. And that's one thing that's really cool because Mother Love Bone came to LA and I was sick as a dog. I couldn't see him. And and he died like months later.
All I know is I had this roommate, his friend, had this cassette. He was like, dude, you have to listen to this. And I was at work and had my little Walkman. Put the little cassette in, and just like, I couldn't stop listening to it. Shine was the first one.
Yeah.
And I was just so blown away by how original it was and how nothing else sounded like it and how cool it was. Yeah. And then we never missed, after that, we never missed a Mother Love Bone show. Anytime Mother Love Bone played, I was there. You know, they were my favorite local band, you know, even more so than Soundgarden, which I love Soundgarden. Alice in Chains were our bros. I never missed Alice. I saw them play at a library. It was this little stage in a library. Yeah. And you just get a phone call from your buddy and be like, hey, man, Alice in Chains is playing at the Bothell Library. I'm like, shut up. We all went to Denny's. Everybody was there, went to Denny's afterwards. We were all hanging out. It was right after they got signed.
In 92 to 94, I saw them 5 times in LA. They opened for everybody. Opened for Iggy Pop, opened for Alice Cooper, opened for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were just, it's like, wow.
But Andrew Wood was such a gem of a person.
Yeah, no, that's if you guys don't know the history of Andrew Wood, you know, he came together, got this band.
Just look it up. He was Landry the Love Child. He was doing this thing that was so far out in left field. Malfunction. Yeah. And then he got Green River broke up.
Yes.
And he got Stoney. It's like an NFL trade or some shit. He ended up with Stoney and Jeff Ament. And then they got Greg Gilmore and Bruce Fairweather. Bruce Fairweather he's a monster guitar player. Yeah. He was the lead and Stoney was the back, and it just and he has his special delivery, and I can't help but be influenced by that. So there's some of that in that song.
And the poor guy dies, but before that, he's actually Chris Cornell's roommate.
They were roommates.
Yeah.
Couldn't be two opposite guys in the whole world.
Exactly.
Because Chris was very, like methodical about everything, and Andrew was just like, let's play this. He was so freewheeling.
Let's go on tour with Warren. Let's do something.
Well, it's interesting because it's like, if you play with reckless abandon, like you don't care, it's amazing what comes out of you.
Yeah.
You know, if you have this, it has to be this way. I mean, I don't want to say, bands should jam. They should just show up.
Because they were a jam
tune
band.
up and jam.
Yeah, they were a jam band.
And my last band was not a jam band. It was like, we're working on this, we're working, and it was never fun. I shoot from the hip, so it was like...
You're Zap Nasty.
It's just where I live.
Yeah, so check up Andrew. It's amazing.
Andrew Wood is
amazing story. A lot of things came after his death, too, so it's like everything changed as it usually does.
Well, that was the end of the scene, and ironically, that's when grunge took off.
Yeah, exactly.
When they called it grunge.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah. No,
so, anyways, there's some influence in there.
Next track.
Let's see, we got Love's Evil.
Yes.
I don't know, it was a riff. And I couldn't let it go. I didn't know what it was about. You know, and then Magic Marker, Make It Disappear.
Yes, I love that line.
It's like, Magic Markers are not known for their transparency. You know? Cellophane, rabbit, crystal clear.
Yes.
It's just playing with words.
But they work, and it's great. Yeah, you have some great new cliches on this. If people listen to it, I bet you they're going to rip that stuff off left and right. They're going to be like, okay.
All right.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The weird part was the chorus. I hated the chorus. And I had it in my head, and it was just supposed to go along with the riff, old Ozzy style. Yeah. Ozzy would always I'm just singing with the guitar players playing. You listen to it, it's all like, he's just repeating what the guitar is just in. And it just evolved into that. But yeah, it's got some cool lines in it. I mean, I like playing with words. I do really sit down, and when I put the final version out of the lyrics, I make sure that I'm happy with every line, every sentence, and how it fits. And is it cool? Or can I do better? Because there was like Crystal Raven had a line in it, and I had to change it. It was like, this is just silly. I got to change it. You know, it was blow another fuse. It was the original line when it was like table dance on a tabletop or something. It was stupid. And I had to change it. So each lyric, you got to really pay attention to the lyrics that you're writing. So,
yeah.
So you have to be happy with it.
And you're a singer, so you have to. And you need that. Because if you're a guitar player, you're going to boil over it and be like...
And now that it's all done and recorded, I'm listening to it going, God, that's such stupid shit.
But you have to let it go.
But you have to let shit go.
Yeah.
You were like, I was like, it's done. I'm just going to release it. I've listened to it enough.
I was lucky early in my photograph career. It's John next. And then, you evolve to the next filters or whatever.
You have to.
Yeah, and then I go back and look at my stuff. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, no problem. And not that I'm super happy, but it's there. So, and more importantly for a photographer, I was there, and not really the image.
You told me something that was really important. What's the difference between a photographer and a really good photographer? Access.
Yes. I'll go through people's stuff. I'll find photographers all the time. I'll go through the stuff. If it's just like concert shit, whatever. But the guys who get backstage or hanging out with the bands, even the young ones who have buddies, it's the access.
Yeah. Well, you're telling a story.
Yeah. You're part of the thing.
It's like Keith Richards picture.
Exactly.
Jesus, that thing is a monster.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean,
it's just him in a hotel room.
Yes, that one.
But he totally just made it.
Yes.
It's like, no, this is Keith Richards' hotel room.
Yes.
Here's my Louis Vuitton guitar case.
Because we talked about this before. A lot of usually there's no pre-production, but Damon has to have some things, and we have to understand what's going on. And I sent him the Eddie Leibowitz photograph for Louis Vuitton. It's Keith Richards in a hotel, been there at 3 o'clock in the morning.
He's like, this is what I'm shooting for. I'm like, well,
yeah, because I wanted Zap Nasty to be, but this is good.
We could. Well, it's my studio.
It's good. I like it.
It's where the magic happens.
Yes, exactly.
I paint over there, and
Yes.
I do my music over here, and there's my guitars and my,
And then, okay, here's the next question. You see, I know the answer already because you're an Aquarius, but you're not done with your stuff. There's more Zap Nasty, there's more Damon out there still.
I have an entire acoustic album.
Yes.
It's done. I just here it is. I just got to put it out.
Yeah. It'll be a Damon.
And hopefully people listen to this stuff. That's the problem. There's so much stuff.
Reverb Nation. We'll do. I'll send a link later or whatever, and we'll do that. But yeah,
I did an acoustic album, and it was. I just had a bunch of old songs that I was listening to my stuff, and I'm like, why am I not doing that? And then I whipped out my acoustic guitar and played them, and then they evolved. Again, you can't just let shit go. You got to keep adding stuff.
Yeah. And
they ended up being, but it's an acoustic album. It's completely done. The Lonely Indifference. That's what it's called. Can't even remember what my
Do you need
shit's
an album
called.
cover?
I already have an album cover. I paid my own album cover.
You need the back album cover?
Probably. You know what? I might need to. My next album might need to have a photograph on it.
Yes.
Because I've been doing my art. Because
I like Ego the King, or My Ego the King.
Oh, that's a weird
photo. I like that, though. It's good.
I took a lot of elements of stuff that's in my painting. That's a digital painting, too.
It's good.
So
I like it.
So I scan stuff and then clean it.
Sidetrack, because Damon it's gone back to his art, and his art's really cool. It used to be the tiki thing, now it's a tiki space alien thing.
And now it's robots.
And, which is, what we grew up with.
Monsters. And, I got tired of painting palm trees, although I'll probably have to go back.
Yes.
Tikis and tiki bars are always a fun thing.
I like tiki bars.
I'm redoing some of my old paintings.
I like Arnold's.
That I've sold that I know I can do better.
Yeah.
But
see, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Because once it's done, I don't go back and even though the Photoshop or the computer analog, whatever the programs are better, I don't go back and it's there.
I find myself
I guess you're
going back and finding stuff that's just like it's a treasure.
Yeah.
and I don't have it anymore, and I kind of want it. I know I can do it better. Like the art thing, when I got back into the art, I didn't know where to start. I hadn't been sketching. I hadn't been creating new stuff. I'm going, but I have such a vast catalog of other stuff that I've done that I just got to go in and like, well, don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just start somewhere, and then go, and then the new creative part will catch up, and it always does. Like music's the same way. I'll find an old song and play it, and then I'll have to replay the whole
I guess that's what it is about a song, because you have a file or something, and then I can do that. But when you have, for me, it's like there, it's done, it's photographed.
Well, at some point,
I'll try to maybe go with that scene again, but it'll never be the same.
We were talking about like at what point is it done?
Yeah.
And as an artist, you have to sign the damn thing and get out of there and sell it, and then not look at it anymore. Yeah. And then I came up with this thing that I always use. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Well, no one's going to know it's not perfect.
But it has to be good.
Yeah.
It has to be good, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Because you can tool your wheels. Yeah. I mean, I could still remix this whole thing because, there's a drum part that I did could be better. Yeah. Or whatever. And at some point, you have to just sign your name and move on to the next beats.
Yeah. So, and then, because I always learn about my sessions or my photographs or scene or whatever.
You know what that is. You do the same thing.
Yeah. And then I just know better. So, and then I did a session with Kamuela, which is in the gallery show. There's no photoshopping involved. That was exactly from the camera, and I didn't have to do any adjusting because they just, when you get to the point, you get lucky. Yeah, it's perfect.
It's like black lining. Paintings. I used to hate black. You put the little black lines in there, and I found a technique that I use, and now I'm really good at it. It's just effortless. I don't think about it. It's like an out of body experience. I'm doing it. It used to be so hard, and now it just comes out. And, and I still hate doing it. I dread doing it.
Now
but that's the end. Yeah. And my friend, my buddy, my artist buddy, was like, "Dude, it's done. You should be like racing towards the end because all you have left to do is the black line." And so I take that to heart.
Yeah. Because I have a style. People see that. But I was talking to Toaster last week, and then
here's Toaster.
It is important to have a tone, and guitar players, lead guitar players, chase that tone.
Yes.
And I don't know how when they decided. Well, actually, it's Dave Davies. That was the first guitar tone.
Oh yeah.
That was the first tone blew everybody's mind. And so after that, everybody's trying to find a tone. And lead guitar players they'll find, but they're always trying to like.
I have something to say about that, though.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that is perfect for a lead guitar player.
Yes.
To have his own specific sound.
Yes.
That like is him, and you hear that, and you instantly associate that with that guitar player.
Tony Iommi, Michael Schenker, Jimmy Page, Richie Blackmore, the whole thing. Even like. What's his name? McCready from Pearl Jam.
Oh, yeah. They all have everybody. Yeah, they're searching their tone. They get it down there. They stick with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I like to go a different route.
Yeah.
Because for me, I want there to be a quiver, and as a rhythm guitar player in a band, you would want your rhythm guitar player to take a different instrument or a different guitar and have a different tone to bounce off against that tried and true, that tone that guitar player owns. That's his unique style. Yes. So I like to have stuff that sounds different. Yes. And I end up chasing tone, getting my tone to sound the same, and now I have a bunch of guitars that all sound the same. And I'm kind of bummed that I don't have the variety that I can grab to do different things. Like this guitar should sound different than my other guitars.
Pick a bit at that. You're not a guitar geek.
No, wait, hold on. No, I'm not going to fix those old guitars.
Yes.
No, we're not. I'm not going to fix those old guitars. And don't tell my wife this, but I'm just going to buy a new one. It does something different.
Yeah.
But I have some cheap guitars. I have really nice Gibsons. And I have really cheap guitars. Yeah. And there's a place in recording where a cheap guitar, man, is like, if you listen to Drunken Tango, that guitar, it's a $25 guitar. I paid $25 for it. I put $200 plus into it, getting it fixed and whatnot. But It has this twangy, shitty, single coil sound to it that like works with that song.
That's a Jack White syndrome.
You know, it's
to find the guitar you have to fight with.
I like fighting with stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Les Pauls are wonderful, but
yeah.
they're effortless.
What I don't understand, sorry, guitar players, it's like
no problem.
Every gig's different, every room's different. How do you up? You can't have the same tone every night. You can come close, but every room's different. It's like fuck that shit.
Well, you can if you're running the same gear.
Yeah,
you can get as close to that as you want.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be variables that are in there, but you're what's coming out of your speakers. You dial.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Because you get over there,
which is awesome.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, in a band, I kind of want to go Paul Stanley. I just want to have like the guitar.
Yes.
And like a couple effects, like maybe a little gain.
Yes.
Maybe a boost pedal in case I have, and a delay, of course. Gotta have a delay. Yeah. And then maybe a chorus.
Yeah.
That you throw in there sometimes, but just leave it like. I mean, who are the greatest rhythm guitar players in bands?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah. James Hetfield.
I would throw him up there.
And then Malcolm Young.
Malcolm Young. If you don't say Malcolm Young first, you're screwed.
Well, it's between Mal and then James. And then
James has that.
Yeah.
Paul Stanley has that.
Yes, Paul Stanley has
But there's very few rhythm guitar players that are just only rhythm guitar players. One of the best rhythm guitar players, though, was Edward Van Halen, which is, you're like, what? And it's like, I defy you to listen to the rhythm guitar of Van Halen album and not go, holy crap.
Yeah. He did it on stage, too.
Well, he had to do both. Just, man, like, jeez. I know, there's a lot of people that hate on Eddie or don't get it or
He's
whatever.
the saint now, so I don't give a shit. Yeah, he did his time. He did what he did.
He's doing what he's doing. He's hanging out with people that are like him.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about heaven and hell. Like, for me, hell would be going to a bunch of people who are super religious.
Yeah, the mind's exactly opposite.
So I'm hoping that when I go, if there is a heaven or hell, I go to a place where there's people like me, which would probably, I guess, holy roller people would call that hell.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I like the album. It was great. It's probably the best Sabbath album ever.
Which one?
Heaven and Hell.
Oh yeah, that was a good album.
Yeah.
Ronnie James Dio.
And that's a prime example of a lead guitar, but a rhythm guitar is all in one.
That is a super rare example of a new singer coming in.
Yes.
Because usually when you lose a singer, you've lost the head of your dragon.
Yes.
Like dragons can't survive without the head.
Yeah.
There needs to be that. Yeah. And the few bands can really put a new head on the dragon and keep going.
And only early on in their career, REO Speedwagon, because Kevin Cronin wasn't the original singer. And then he came in like, look at this, you know.
He was?
He wasn't the original singer.
Who was the original singer?
Some guy who was in...
Some guy!
And they did 2 albums with some guy, and all of a sudden they re-recorded Riding the Storm Out with Kevin.
I love
Riding the Storm Out. Exactly.
I love Kevin because he's the only singer that ends on a consonant R rather than an E or an A or an O or something.
Well, the vowels are easy.
Forever. You don't, as a singer, you want to avoid those.
Yeah, exactly. But you're right. How many? It doesn't happen that way.
You know what though? That was
except for Deep Purple.
It made it his style though.
Yeah. No, that was like of all the. Because my always prime example. Because if I was going to be in a band, I'd be stuck with the same 4 assholes forever. Yeah. And no matter what I did, like, man, I remember that peach band you had.
And God help you.
Yeah, but then who's better? Paul McCartney, the Beatles. Who's better? Mick Jagger still up? Yeah,
you can't say that. Because solo albums they're different.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, I wish I had other people. I'd like to do a project with other people because you end up creating music in a bubble.
Yes.
You know, it's great because I don't have to fight with the bass player.
Yes.
Sometimes you can play better bass than. That's not an insult on anybody in particular.
We love Mike.
No, it's definitely not Mike.
Mike's a monster.
Mike's a monster. I love Mike. I love jamming with Mike.
Kelly
Howerton, another great bass player. But I've had bass players in bands, and I'm like, dude, I can play bass better than you. Sit down and, So I don't have to argue with that. But you are in a bubble, so I have kind of a formula that I go through, and I don't have people going, it would be cool if you did this. But
it's a collaboration. If you are able to understand a collaboration, some of the best collaborators make some of the best, but it's a collaboration because.
But you have to collaborate.
Yes, you have to understand and let go. You have to let go of some things. And a lot of solo artists can't let go. I can name a lot of people on this island that will never be in a band because they can't let go of their creative freedom. It's like, wait. This is my favorite. My favorite.
I've never been that way. I've always been like, whatever serves the song.
Yes.
Like if your idea is the best idea and that makes the song better,
Yeah.
I'm in on that. I've never been like, I've always been like, here's my music, here's my song.
Yes.
Like take it and change it and make it better.
Yes.
Kick my ass.
Yes.
Challenge me.
My favorite example is Jimi Hendrix, Band of Gypsies, on stage New Year's Eve, and Buddy Miles is doing them changes. Jimi Hendrix is a lead guitar player. He steps back and just plays guitar. He's not worried about anything else. He's that dun 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 dun. He goes, wah! He's just being a lead guitar player. It's like I was so when I older. I was too young, but to see the videos and see the relief off his face, I used to play the guitar.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything. I was singing like it.
Oh.
And Buddy Miles going, the change. It was like, woo! Check it out, man. That was so cool.
I would like to be in a band where I just sang.
Yeah.
Because there's freedom in that. Yeah, you know what? There's freedom.
Yeah.
And, well, the superhero thing was like I wanted to play guitar.
Yes.
I wanted to do both. I
Yes.
wanted to be the Paul Stanley.
Yes.
It was kind of a Kiss thing.
Yes.
That's what it was. But man, there is something so free about just being a singer. I don't have to worry about playing guitar, or having your guitar player yell at you because you're not doing it right or whatever. You know what I mean? It's you can just sing. You just jump and you can jump around and do whatever because this is all I got to worry about. This little this mic.
Yes.
And that's it. You can run around and be free and really put on a show. I'd like to be just a singer in a band, but then you have to give up all the creative freedom of writing the songs.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Right.
It depends on the dichotomy of the people you're hanging out with.
It was interesting because when I first started playing music, I was a guitar player. And then I was like, no, I'm going to be a singer. And then my buddy was like, dude, but I heard you play guitar. You should be a guitar player. Yeah. And then I'd be like, no, I'm going to be a singer, man, because I want to be the singer. And then somebody's like, why don't you do both? And by the way, both, it takes a while. You have to...
Yeah.
You have to really knuckle down and get that. And then once I did that, it was like it's over for you. Yeah. You will be playing guitar and singing at the same time. You because it's expected.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can do it.
Yeah.
Because you can do it.
Yeah. After the Runaways, Lita Ford took a year off, rented in her space. It took her a year to learn how to sing and play guitar.
Yeah. Oh, it's
crazy. Yeah.
And for bass players that sing and play bass at the same time, there's a certain level of respect that I have for you, my friends, because that is not easy. Guitar is like it kind of goes with the beat and whatever, but the bass is usually fighting against that and filling those. Can't sing and play bass.
Geddy Lee.
Geddy Lee. You know what? I watched Geddy Lee. He was singing, playing his bass, reach over on his hand and stroke some keyboard, program a couple things, and then hit something, and then be playing the foot pedals at the same time. Yeah. You just be like, what? Yeah. What? Yeah, that's a whole level of...
There was a joke saying, he does everything, he plays keyboards with his butt. Yeah, no, because this is super talented.
He can't.
And he was like, what are those? Bang,
Damn.
Exactly. Then you got certain bands, like the pop bands, really, a lot of bass player pop bands. Mr. The Outfield. But they're actually... Winger. Oh, let's not talk
about
that.
With the ballerina moves.
Let's not talk about
Come on.
No, that was the end of metal. That was the end of the 90s. I'm so glad... 80s. I'm so glad...
That was the Warrant side of...
Yeah, but Warrant was good at least. But sorry, I don't... The Kip's nowhere on my radar, so it's fine. But still...
He went country.
Yes, everybody's in Nashville, and they all do that. So Ron Keel went to Nashville.
That's right, it was Keel that went
Yeah.
And then it was...
it was a super... He's back with Chevy. I left L.A. and got my little 12-string, and I sit back here with my horses.
Still can't listen to the lyrics that have twang in it. It just... It kills me.
Well, what's next?
What is the next one? My Ego the King is the next song.
Title track. Right on track. It is. Yeah. I like that's a very Zap Nasty,
starts.
You go.
It starts kind of slow, and then it builds,
Yes,
and then it goes, and then it's about insomnia and fighting with your inner demons and who you really are and what you really stand for, and fighting against your ego that is the king, and trying to make it happy, living with it. I try to appease. And that's one of the lines in the song, and it's you just trying to live with your ego, keep it in check, man, because it can get out of control
really quick,
and then people don't want to hang out with you anymore, right? Which is probably my case.
There's this weird thing, because I saw this interview on Joe Rogan. Sorry about that, guys. And there was a chef here.
Really sorry about that.
And there was a guy who worked at the Pig and Lady, and then got his own stop, and then Bourdain hung out with him, and he became a superstar.
Right.
And he found out the more he was nasty, the more people loved him. And I went through a 6-month phase being a really fucking asshole, like 5-6 years ago. I was an asshole.
And very
people,
successful.
And people loved it.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I was like, fuck you, dick, whatever.
Yeah.
And even Facebook put me in jail for a day. It's like, you can't call people old and fat. Like, he's old and fat, lives with mom's basement. What more do you want? And then I realized at that point, like, sometimes people want you to call people out.
They do.
And then, but it's not me.
They do.
Yeah.
They want you to be. They want that.
Because they can't do it themselves. They want someone to do like.
I've always wanted to be the singer that could jump up on a table in a bar and kick over all the fucking beers and just go like, yeah, fuck it, right?
Yeah.
I've never been able to do that. The State King. What is it? The Jim Morrison line. I'm the Lizard King. The Lizard.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be the Lizard King.
Yes.
And I could never. I could not be that much of an asshole.
Yeah, no, it's funny because Morrison was the quintessential rock star first. There's nobody, lead singer rock star.
Yeah, oh.
Yeah. Frontman.
He couldn't really sing.
But I like to sing.
I mean, he could sing,
I like that.
That's where my shit lives anyway.
But what happens is he's the first lead frontman.
Oh, yeah.
Because Jackie wasn't doing it. Arthur Lee wasn't doing it. No one was doing it. I mean,
no one was jumping up on top of a car and screaming out Lizard King.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Stoned out of his mind.
And then what happens is...
And you want to be that.
The next person was Michael Hedges. Had that Morrison vibe. Think about it. He had it. And then, because you have to touch.
Everybody gets it from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know?
And then the other one after that was the guy from the Cult. Then he lost it.
He ain't Asbury.
Because you have to fly close to the sun for that. And you get burned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But being an asshole is
well, not being an asshole, but being...
I like to put on the Zap Nasty and go out and be Zap Nasty and be Zap Nasty and have that attitude and like, fuck you and whatever.
Well, it takes a lot of whiskey for that. So.
Well, I mean, we'll get to the whiskey after this, I'm sure. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to live with yourself. You got to look yourself in the mirror. You have a dog and a wife now.
Yeah, that's different.
And you can't.
You've grown up.
You have to kind of.
No. You mature. You can grow up.
Well, yeah,
you can't grow up. You have to mature. Like fine wine, you don't like.
So old, but yeah,
I'm old in New York, but still. We're here.
It's
and we're doing it. And we're enjoying what we're doing.
I'm never going to stop doing what I do.
Exactly. We've learned how to moderate.
Artists don't retire; they just fade. They just fade.
Yeah, or they go out in the sunflower fields.
Well, you know what's weird is I kind of now feel like I'm at a point in my life, and now I have this room that I can make all this shit.
Yeah.
And now I feel like it's a race against time.
Yes.
To get as much
done
before I die, because man, you only got so much. You're looking at your mortality.
Yeah.
And you're like, how much can I get done before I can't?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I don't know when this room's going to go away. I'm going to have to move and go someplace else. It probably will not be as wonderful as where I'm living now.
Yes.
You know, I have total freedom to just come in here and just paint. Go on some stupid television show and paint. I can't paint, listen to music, because my brain grabs onto it and won't let go. It's so frustrating. I stop paying attention.
I can imagine if I painted like that.
It's got to be,
I get the putty knife out.
That I can, I can focus on that. But music, I start listening to it. Wow, listen to the bass line, man. That's awesome. But yeah, now I feel like I'm in this race against time
Yes.
to like spend time with my wife and my
Yes.
dog,
Yes.
to be present, to do things, but also create as much art and music as I possibly can.
Yes. Congratulations.
You know,
Cheers.
well, I'm
Well,
doing the best I
welcome to
can.
that.
I'm doing the best I can. What's the last song?
Last song.
Speaking of egos, yeah, so we're done with the ego part. The last song is the vultures in the trees. And what's really funny about there was a visual that came with that. I'm not going to talk about my past too much, but I was living in this place called Indiana. God, you never think in your whole life that you're going to move to a place that's called Indiana. Yes, there was a girl involved. It's a terrible story, and it's horribly. I was in Indiana, and my ex-wife looks out the window. Shouldn't be telling stories about my ex-wife, but here it is. She looks out the window. She goes, "Oh, look at all those hawks in the tree out there." And I looked out, and there's a tree in the front yard, and it was filled. I can ball binoculars. I'm looking. I'm like, yeah, those aren't hawks. Those are vultures. It was a tree full of. There was like it had to be like, 25, 30 vultures in a tree. And I was like, that is a bad sign. When you have that many vultures just congregating, they're just waiting for something to die.
That's right.
Because that's their whole purpose. That's their whole function in life,
Yeah.
is to wait for something to die. So this last song, I wanted it to end something really heavy, but not like Soundgarden kind of heavy,
Yeah.
like where it's just down chords and it tells the story of downtrodden ugliness. I would like to think, pushing the rock up the hill, and being afraid that rock is just going to suddenly start rolling backwards and just take you out. The rock runneth over. Last line of the
Awesome.
album.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to do something that was heavy, and albums are a thing, man. They're like mixtapes, right?
Kind of.
No, they really are. They're the ultimate mixtape, actually, because you're, as an artist and a musician, you're trying to. I got this bunch of songs. There was a song I took off of this thing. It was just too. There was just too much mellow on there. I'm like, this is a Zap Nasty. This song.
Yeah.
This song's out. I have so many songs that will not go on albums. It's messed up. But yeah, you want to challenge yourself to do that. I just lost my thoughts.
That's fun. No, yeah. So, Reverb Nation.
Reverb Nation, Zap Nasty.
That's it so far.
Zap Nasty, yeah, Reverb Nation.
Yeah.
So then we'll put the link on the blog.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
And the new album's out there. The old album's out there.
Yeah, it's good. It's for free. Just listen to it.
Yeah, and actually, you can stream it and you can download it. Because God bless you, if you want to take that thing in your car and not listen to a bunch of commercials, you should absolutely do that. But I mean, if somebody wants to listen to it, that's great. My thing is, there's so much music out there, and people don't listen to music like they used to, because there's so much entertainment that's vying for your attention.
Yes.
There's TV.
1997, all of a sudden, it was overload.
Well, now it's even worse.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you don't have record companies filtering music to like, this is the best stuff. This is the stuff that makes it to the radio. So now if you go out and you're looking for music, I mean, you're just like, you're standing in a field of just amazing shit, but you can't decipher through it. You can't wade your way through it. So I hope somebody listens to it. I mean, I release it just because it can't live in my computer. I had a friend, Brent Wagger, and we grew up together. And I was in someplace, and I was like, dude, I have this album, and no one's listened to it. I don't know what to do with it. I sent it to him, and he listened to it. He listened to it and was like, dude, this song. I was walking down the hallway, and I heard this song, and it came on. It was like, wow. And he goes, I go, what should I do with it? He goes, you should release it. You should put it out. Like, people will want to hear it. And if you you do or if you don't, that's fine. But he inspired me to keep making the music and putting it out there.
Good.
You know, so shout out Brent.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun. Is it over? I think it's over.
Yeah.
My God. All right. Well, thanks for listening, and thanks for
having Zap
thanks
Nasty.
for having me. I'm a third timer.
Yeah, it's always fun. It's always good to hang out. That's what we do this for, to hang out. And
Yeah.
I'll end our conversation.
Might as well. It was funny because we were hanging out the other night.
Yeah.
And we started talking about this and that and whatever. And you should listen to these guys.
Yeah.
This band, whatever. And you're like, I should be podcasting this right now.
Yeah, but I like this better, so it's good.
It's
Okay,
what it is.
ready for this? All right, don't laugh. I have to turn this off. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Next week's a bye week, so I don't have anything going on. I got a couple of people showing up. That's fine.
You have a bye week?
I get a bye week.
You're like an NFL team?
That's why I say a bye week, because people don't understand that shit.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, I have to do, so anyway.
I get it.
From Makiki, Honolulu.
Shout out to my friends and the people that I love and know out there, and people I've been in bands with, and I love you all, and I hope to see you soon, and hopefully you listen to my music. And Zap Nasty Band is probably gonna happen.
I can't wait for that.
At some point.
Yeah.
Awesome. At some point. Cool. I mean, I can't live on my computer.
No, I like that part. Okay,
All right, high five.
Graceful.